Back for another episode of the Coast Boys podcast. I'm Izzy.
I'm Gabe.
Today, we're back. We're back after a month of not doing this for a while. We just want to apologize. Didn't really make an announcement about it, but we're going to talk about what we've been doing during that time off. But first, we just kind of wanted to address the merch. Again, big thank you to everyone who purchased. I'm wearing the crew right now. It's comfortable. It's great quality. We want to thank Don at Epic Graphics for helping us out. Did us a huge solid. We just really appreciate everything. Jeremiah as well for kind of steering us in that direction.
The whole team at Epic Graphics.
Yeah, did a great job. We're very, very happy with it, and we are going to be doing something with them in the near future. So thank you so much. Also, everybody who subscribed to us, we hit our goal of 250 on YouTube. Thank you. That was within a month of... we hit our month goal. Yeah. We hit our month goal of 250, so we're very excited. And that was with not posting an episode in almost a month. So It's good to see that the diversity of the content was working. We had people.
Vlogs were sick, man. I really enjoyed your vlog.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, I mean, I had people reach out and be like, "Hey, that vlog was cool. Like, you just got a sub." I was like, "Okay, cool." Like, because not everybody listens to podcasts, so not everyone's gonna be like tuning in every week to see that. But some people maybe want to see like a 7-minute clip of something that's going on, But yeah, thank you to everyone who subscribed. Hit our goal of 250, and so we could just talk about what we've been up to. I wanted to ask about what you've been doing, because for those that don't know, this is our first time seeing each other since I've been back. So
yeah, he literally just hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm back in town. Let's go record an episode."
Let's get it.
Sounds good.
Back to business.
It's been good for me. A lot of the same for me in terms of like school wise. Like we're in the yellow tier, so that's cool. So like they're talking about going back 4 days a week with all the kids. For all the kids, my kids have already been there 4 days a week because they're in special education. But for every kid to come back 4 days a week just to finish off the year, so that's been cool. I recently just made like a huge order. The county gives us like a certain amount of money every year that we can spend on stuff, and I hadn't spent anything up to this year, and the year's almost over, and I didn't really realize I had that balance until like a month ago. So
how'd you find out?
They sent out an email like, "Oh, hey, so teachers, like your remaining balances is this, and this." And
is that
spend
for
your money.
Is that for each department, or is it an individual teacher?
So every school, so there's a teacher for the middle school, there's a teacher for the high school. Each one has the same amount. We all do. And so mine was untouched. And I was like, oh, like how do I use my money? Like, oh, you can just make an Amazon list. And so I was like, all right, cool. So next thing you know, I like tell my aides, and we get like huge list, and it was like, honestly, it was like close to like $900, almost $1,000 worth of stuff.
Damn.
Like we're gonna get for the kids for next year, but also we got some stuff for the kids that we currently have because they like have incentives to earn prizes and stuff. So
what kind of stuff did you buy?
A lot of like balls, like football, soccer balls, kickballs. We bought like Lego sets, like full on Lego sets for the kids. A bunch of snacks for next year, like a bunch of variety packs of things you'd get like at Costco and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So we got a bunch of that for next year because they love snacks. I mean, I love snacks too. So I'm just like, I'll take that too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. Just cool sensory stuff that they can kind of fidget with and whatnot. Like,
is this stuff that they can keep, or is it just for them to use in the classroom?
So some stuff is for only the classroom, and then other stuff is if they earn enough points throughout the day or whatever throughout the week. At the end of the week, they can buy those things. So it's a little bit of both. But yeah, I was super excited. I got all the stuff, and I feel like I'm so prepared for next year. Like coming in as a teacher, I didn't know what to expect, and when I first got there, like I think I already mentioned, like I just felt like I was the fish out of water. I didn't belong. I didn't know how to like what I was doing. I was just kind of just going day by day. And now like coming into this next year, I just feel like I'm so set. Like I'm gonna make this next year so good.
Like you got the groove.
Yeah, like I'm totally just like I'm in my groove exactly. So
that's
been
good.
Cool. That's been
good,
cool. School. Yeah.
So you're planning on going back next year?
Yeah, and I mean I don't want to like say any spoilers or anything, but I think it's gonna be my last year. It's just. I'm already done because I was talking. I was talking to the scheduler lady, and I was like, "Hey, so I don't have my credential yet, and like, what's the story with that? Like, can I still work next year without it, or like, what do I need to do?" And she basically told me like, based on when you came in and the time that you've been teaching, you have 1 more year without having your credential set. But if you don't start your credential process by next year, you won't be able to come back the following year. So basically, I have next year, I'm good. And if I don't start my credential process within next year, the next school year, then they can't take me back, even if they wanted to. Like I'd have to be like a substitute teacher or something. Like,
and how does that work, a credential process?
So there's tons. Like you can go to a school. Like I know Sonoma State offers one too, but like obviously I'd have to go in person. I don't know if they have an online one.
You have to physically go there?
For that one, the one at Sonoma that I'm talking about, yeah, it's like an in-person one. I don't know if things have changed, obviously, with COVID. Like, maybe they changed it to online. But there's also online ones that you can go to, and they're just as good. But, like, it's just, from what I've heard and from, like, other teachers that I've talked to, they all recommend, like, if you can, go in person, because it's just, like, you get way more out of the experience than you would just online staring at a screen or whatever. But obviously, I feel like I would do just fine if I did it online.
What do they teach you
it's
that you
not an
don't
issue.
know?
I don't know. But it's just, like, I guess, I don't know, like, paperwork. I'm sure it's mainly like paperwork and making sure, like, cases the kids get followed onto the next school and how to handle that and whatnot. And I'm not really sure exactly, but it's like supposed to be a year thing, so it's not like a crazy big thing. But I need it to continue teaching if I want to do that. But I'm not thinking teaching is for me, to be honest. Like,
Interesting, Gabe. Interesting,
Yeah,
because
I
you
know.
enjoy it and you're good at it.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm good at a lot of things. But
I feel that.
yeah, no, I know. Everyone tells me too, and it sucks because I'll talk to, like, counselors or therapists or whatever. Like, you work so well with them. You, like, people, like, you can't teach that. When you're working with kids, you can tell them what to teach them and, like, how to give a lesson or whatever, but you can't teach, like, the building the connections, building the relationships with the kids, like something. And I have great relationships with all my kids.
Yeah, it's organic.
So, yeah, and so they're just like, it's something you really can't just find. Like, it's hard to find something like that. So, like, we would take you as long as we can. And I've already talked to, like, the person higher up, and I told him that I was, like, already thinking about leaving next year, after the following year. And he was, like, trying to tell me, he's like, well, man, if you come back, I always got a spot for you. If you come back as a therapist or as a counselor now, like, we got positions available, speech therapist, I got you. Just let me know and I'll get you a job. And so it's been nice hearing that. So just know I got a place back home if I ever need it.
Hell yeah. So what are you gonna do if you quit,
If I quit,
or if you leave that job? I don't know if quit's the right word, but if you decide to do
yeah.
something else, what is your? That's kind of scary. It's like you're leaving something that's already secure.
yeah, and I know we talked on the car here, but it's exciting. Like, I was just to do something different, do something new, and so that thing that I would be doing differently would be going back to school, doing my master's, in either, like, administration or in education. I'm not really sure yet, or, like, some, like, therapy or counseling type deal. I'm still not really sure yet. I think I'd want to be a counselor. I think I'd be really good at it, to be honest. But I just don't really know if that's my calling yet. So I'm taking this next year to kind of figure all that out, do my last year teaching, save up all the money, because that's all I've been doing so far, just saving up money. And then that way, when I go do my master's, I'll have money for rent, food, tuition, whatever it is, and I'll kind of be set. Like, I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row, so by the time I'm ready to leave, I don't have any excuse to not go. You know what I mean? But it's tough.
It's gonna be very tough. It's gonna be very tough, especially because you've been out of school for so long.
That's what worries me, man.
It's very tough to get back into it.
I know. And I know we talked to you about how school's been for you, and
Yeah. No, but I just, like, along that topic, like, I remember when I took a year off and I was living in Ukiah and I was working, and to go back to school, I was like, it's gonna be fine. And then just the workload again, especially, like, in your last years before you graduate, it was very tough.
Yeah.
And I don't know what a master's program would be like. I don't know. I'm sure it's more tough.
I have friends in master's programs right now, and they all just tell me it's like just tons of essays, tons of writing. It's just like writing for everything. It's like proposals, or you're reading different people's papers, and then you're writing, like, your synopsis of their paper and whatnot. And just like I hate that. I suck at doing those things. Like, it's tough, but, like, especially in psychology, like, that's all you would do is you would go to a class, and then they'd, like, talk about, well, specific psychology classes, not all of them, but they would talk about certain case studies that they did and, like, what the findings were. Okay, like, what do these findings mean? Like, what can we take from them? And so I feel like it'd be a lot of that if I went the psychology route.
Interesting.
But I don't know, maybe administration, maybe I'll go be like a principal or something like that, or vice principal, something.
Remember what Mendel said? He was like, I wish I would have done it in education.
Yeah.
Do you remember why he said that?
I don't know. Maybe it was because it was broad. It was more broad.
It was more universal, right?
Yeah. So I was thinking, that's what I'm saying. I have different options that I can, like, and I really want to do speech therapy, because there's a lack of speech therapists in this area particularly, but I know, like, just anywhere in general, like, speech therapy is something that's needed. And I think it's hella easy to do, to be honest. Like, I was just thinking, I was like, wow.
Damn.
I could
Every speech therapist listening to this is going to be like,
no,
listen,
they know it's obviously, like, there's, you got to work with the kids. Like, the biggest thing for me is, like, if you're able to be comfortable around the kid and they can, like, do the lesson with you. But I was just thinking, damn, I could do that, and they get paid really well. So, like, all pluses,
Yeah. And you would want to come back here after?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Come by, say hi to the family, get my stuff, and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want something different and something new, something exciting. even if it's just like Santa Rosa and then from there move on to somewhere else. But yeah, I've always wanted to go down to SoCal to live there, like long term, if I could do that. So that'd be the goal ultimately if I could make that happen.
That'd be lit.
I'll go talk to Morrow and see if he get me a spot. You know, he's a realtor up there in Santa Monica around that area, I think. Or Irvine. He's in Irvine.
Yeah, Irvine.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll go
Dude,
talk
shout
to
out
him.
to Mara.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be sick. Long term in LA or SoCal area.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
That'd be fun. But that's it for me. I know you were just a Mex, and I really want to hear from you how that was, because that was your first time.
Dude, it was lit.
So that's like great. And I saw your stories, bro. It looked like you were having a fun time.
Dude,
right?
I was having literally the time of my life. And everything about it was sick, bro. So, like, the way we went down, like, we had heard that it was easier, less of a hassle, and I can speak on it from experience, flying domestically than internationally. So, there's, like, borders and customs. There's more security. It's, like, longer lines. So, it was just less of a hassle. And so, we drove from here to my cousin's house in Hesperia. So, that's, like, 20 minutes, 30 from San Bernardino. So, like, Riverside area, like, east of that, you know? So, we went over there, stayed there the night, and then the next morning we drove to Tijuana. So, we crossed the border. Super easy. Literally, it's like you're crossing a toll. They don't check you anything coming in.
They don't check IDs?
Just check ID, nothing.
They don't let you go by?
They just let you drive through. You just a bunch of topes, and then it's like those little gates that open up and close. Literally nothing. I thought we were going to be at the line for...
I think it's on the way back.
It's on the way back. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you about that because we got searched, bro. Like, we got stopped. Literally every car was driving by, and like they gave us a little orange thing, put my cousin's passport or her ID in the little thing on the windshield, and he's like, follow that, go to the right. And I was just like, what does that mean? She's like, we're gonna get searched. I was like, damn it.
He's like, hey, are you a good runner?
Oh, it was so annoying. But I'll get more into that. But what was I saying?
You got there. You just
probably. Oh yeah, so we just drove by, and bro, immediately, as soon as you cross, like you notice the difference.
Okay, what are the first differences?
First differences is infrastructure. Like the roads are just crap. Like super, like a bunch of potholes, super bumpy. I remember seeing like a bunch of like old cars, like all the cars are like older models. Like super beat up, run down. There's a lot of dirt. Like, so like when you're like on the US side, like the sides of the roads is like grass or like cut that's like maintained. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no weeds sticking out, and it's just like you can tell the difference. And like the roads are flat, they're smooth. And then as soon as you get over there, like bumpy roads, it smells like burnt wood over there. Like when you roll the window down and everything smells like burnt wood, like it's weird. But I immediately, and then like the roads, bro, like over there, like the stop signs, you know, here like they're like on like a pole, boom, you could see it sticks out. Over there, like they're like on a wall or like on like a telephone pole or something. Like they're like, you don't know there's a stop sign. So like there'd be times where my cousin was driving us over there, because she drove our car over there, dropped stuff at the airport, and then took her car back, and she picked us up on the way back. But she'd just like randomly stop, and I'm just like, why? Like, what are you doing? And then like look over, and there's a stop sign. I'm like, what the hell? There's no street signs. Like you don't know what the street names are. And that was a big issue, bro. That was a big issue when we got to Sinaloa. I'm like gonna be skipping back and forth, but when we got to Sinaloa, like my aunt, I like asked her, I was like, what's your address? How do we get there? And like, you know, when you ask me for my address, I tell you blank, and then like the street number, name, and then on the bottom I'll put the city, state, zip code. Like I'll have it to where you could just click on it or copy and paste into the GPS and you can find it. Like, bro, they would tell you like they would just give you like this messed up thing. I was like, I don't even know how to put this into the GPS. Like it's.
What did it look like, or what was it, a bunch of numbers, or just like?
Weird I should have had that. Like I shouldn't even brought that up. I can't even explain it. But like they like. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but it's just like it's not like a typical street address, city. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like
you can't just put it in and find it.
Like it's just like super difficult, and then just like it happened on 2 occasions when we got to Nayarit, and like the taxi driver was like, we like got into the little village where he was at, and he just had like got my uncle on the phone, and he just had to like walk him through how to get to his house.
That's crazy.
There's no just like GPS, and then like the taxi drivers over there. This was my first time in a taxi. Like literally, yeah, bro, never taken a taxi ever. Like never had to. Like Uber and stuff, but like never just like, hey, taxi, flag one down.
I have a question about that. Was there like a screen in between you and the taxi driver and stuff like that? Like
on some of them, yeah. It was like a plastic little thing.
Okay.
on some of them it was like plexiglass, and on other ones it was like a little, it's like those like a mantel, like a see-through mantel.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, immediate, like, bro. We get into Tijuana, and our first stop was gonna be my mom's sister's house, so my aunt, and we're like driving through, and you see like, as soon as you cross over, it's like businesses. It's like big, like commercial business, like buildings. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
And then it's like you catch like the freeway going more inland, and literally like on the right side, it's like all like on the left, it's like tall mountains. You could see the border on the, which is kind of surreal. It feels weird, kind of being able to see the border that you hear so much about.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird. But then like on the right side, it's just like slums, dude. Like run down, like little box brick buildings, and it's like it looks like favelas in Brazil. Like it's crazy. And I'm just like looking, and they're like, do they pay rent? Do they just find an abandoned building and just live in it? Like, how do they? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I remember when we went to Zacatecas, I asked that, and then like they were saying that it's really hard to be like a property manager over there because like they just don't pay you rent. It's very like lawless.
Wait, what? Wait,
yeah,
so
like they can just like not pay rent. Like I guess it's like a headache that it's like a veces te la pagan, a veces no. Like how do you enforce it? Like,
oh, okay. If you wanted to rent out to someone
yeah,
else.
so like if I own a house over there and you move in, and I'm just like, hey Gabe, you got the rent? It's like, no, like
not this week, bro. Sorry.
It's like
not this month.
Here there's like steps you can take to
get your money.
Yeah, like it's anyways. So like we're driving, and the first thing, bro, like we literally turn, like we pass the buildings, turn left, and then there's like a dead cow on the street. There's like traffic backed up, and just like you see cars like swerving and stuff, and we literally just drive past a dead cow, and I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, I'm like, what, dude? And like we get to my aunt's house and we tell her about it, and she's like, oh yeah, it's been there for like a week. I was like, dude, does no one pick it up? Does no one clean this stuff up? And bro, everywhere you go, there's dogs just walking around, roaming around on the street. Mm-hmm. There's like no animal controller. Like, you know how here, like, what do you call it? What is it? The pound? Like you call the pound and stuff? Like, none of that. It's just different, bro. It's different.
A business opportunity in Mexico.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, is that a government thing? Like, or is it just kind of like a privately owned business that goes out and like...
Some of them might be privately owned, but I think also some might be funded by like the county. It might be on a state level or county level where they fund those things.
And it's cool because you could, I mean, it's cool or not cool, but like the dogs are so like people friendly. Mm-hmm. They just walk around.
Probably because that's
they're looking for food. Yeah, looking for food. So like, okay, that was another thing too. Like when we first saw it, I was like, oh, look, a puppy. And then like you keep driving and then you see one that's dying. And you're like, oh. You can see like its rib cage, and it's like you see like sad eyes.
Yeah.
Like you remember that dog commercial, like in the
I was about to say in the background, you hear that song.
Exactly like that, bro. And then just like, then you start to feel bad. It's like, damn, like there's hella poverty. Because like that was, like you said, what's the immediate difference is poverty. It's like people over there, like you can tell it's just different. Another difference is like everyone over there is hustling. Like everything's a job. You know what I'm saying? Like people clean windows, people are performing on the streets, people are selling in the middle of the road. Like they're always selling something. They're always trying to make a business. And it's cool, but at the same time, it's shitty because like if you're like when we were in Mazatlan, we were like walking around, and to use the bathrooms, they charge like 5 to 10 pesos. It's like, bro, I need to take a piss. I don't have any change on me. Like, I'm just like, how are you going to charge for a public restroom? Or they're like, take the, and then if other places it's like a public restroom, they'll take out the toilet paper and they'll charge you for the toilet paper.
Dude, I've heard about that. Yeah.
I'm just like, this motherfucker. I'm hella mad. I'm like, here's my money. Or like, when we got to Tepic, bro, like, my uncle was like taking us to my aunt's house. And then like he was like, we were taking the freeway, which is crazy too, because like there's a freeway that's called the Quota, and it means like you pay tolls, and it's like a faster route, it's nicer roads. And then there's La Libre, and it's just like 2 lanes. Like when you're driving from Ukiah to Hopland, where it has that spot where it's like just, no, it's 1 lane.
2 lanes on each side, or 2 lanes in
just
total?
Just 2 lanes.
So one going the one way, one going the other?
Maybe it's 1 lane. No, it's just 1 lane. It's just 1 lane because over there, like a lot of cars, like they pass you. It's like a typical thing. Like every car passes you. And if a car like is going slow, they move over to the side off the road to let you pass them. And it's kind of sketch because it's like in a no, there's like signs up there that say like no rebase. Like it's,
you just got to hold over.
Different. It's different. But yeah, that's like the freeway. But I remember back to my point, my uncle was like driving and he just like turns off to this dirt road. And I'm like, where are we going? And there's like a lady sitting in the middle of the road with like a bucket, and he just like throws change in there. And I'm like, what was that for? And he was like, they charge for us to cut through their village because it's like cutting through like the long stretch of the freeway. So it just like basically cuts around. So picture like the freeway like shaping in a U, like a horseshoe.
Okay.
And the curve is on the top. So like we're driving this way and we turn off to the right and we cut into a village to cut around the U, and then we just pop out on the other side.
Right. So there's like a village in the middle.
Yeah. So they're
Right.
charging us to use like to cut through that village. So they're like set up at the entrance and at the out.
Damn.
Isn't that weird?
That's somebody's job every day. They're gonna
Yeah,
go
it's somebody's
and sit
job. But
down.
he was saying like, I guess every single time I would ask, like they would just justify it with like, oh well, that money goes to like the roads or like the village and helping.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It does make sense, but it's just like,
It shouldn't be a thing.
yeah, dude, it shouldn't be. Like,
That's
bro, this is
cool.
a public road. I guess it's not.
That's like us in Fort Bragg, or like people coming to see the beaches. Okay, we're gonna charge you like $5 to come into town so you can see the beach, or so you can go down Glass Beach or whatever.
Yeah, like when you're driving to LA, you're not gonna drive through tolls. You're gonna like find a route around it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
That's interesting. It's different.
it's different, dude. It's very different. But it was an experience. Like Tijuana, like was so big. It was so like, it's like a big city. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense because it's right on the border. And so like I said, we drove to my cousin. She drove us to the airport in Tijuana. And from there, we flew out to Zacatecas. But our flight wasn't until at 1 a.m. So
Yeah,
we
you
had like
picked
the whole,
random times.
bro, like random. And I remember, dude, for like the first 3 days, my sleep schedule was so off. Because I cannot sleep on planes. Like I'm too big. And both times when I flew internationally, I was stuck. I was stuck in the middle seat.
Oh, I hate the middle
Dude, I was
seat,
stuck in the
bro.
middle seat, and I'm just
my
like this.
God.
Like I'm a fucking big kid, and I'm just like this in between like two strangers. But like when I flew from Tijuana to Zacatecas and from Mazatlan to Tijuana, I was with my parents in the row, so I was like on the outside, and I could just stick my feet out. But every time like the people would walk by, like I would have to tuck them in and stuff.
You
So I
can't fall
couldn't.
asleep.
I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just a nightmare. Cause like the first night driving to my cousin's house, I drove all night. So it's like
Oh,
we
you were
drove through.
helping your
Yeah,
parents
so like my
drive,
mom
yeah.
didn't get off work till 7. We drove after. So it's like didn't sleep. I slept like 3 hours or 4 hours, and then the next day we woke up, drove to TJ, and then like that night it's like we're awake until the plane, and then get on the plane and I couldn't sleep. So it's just like I going on like 3 hours of sleep for the past 2 days, and then get there, and then literally from the airport, like when we land in Zacatecas from the airport, we get picked up by family, and then drive over there, and then like by the time we get there, it was like 4 a.m. and there's a time change, so it's like we get there like at 3 a.m. but over there it's 5 a.m.
It's
So
2
it's like,
hours ahead.
Yeah, so now I'm trying to go to sleep when they're starting their day, but they like want to take us, so it's just like I got like 2 hours of sleep, and then we just start our day.
You're like a zombie.
Dude, yeah, like the first few days I was just all messed up, bro. And then like when I'm vlogging, like we'd finish the day, like it would suck because we'd get out like we'd get out like at 7, we'd like I'll leave the house, wouldn't get back till like 10, so I would have to start editing, and I wouldn't go to sleep until like 3 a.m. and then I had to wake up the next morning like 7. So that's why like I wanted to vlog as much as possible, but I just at times I was like, dude, I do not have the energy.
I think you got a lot of good footage.
I
and
think so too,
everything.
but there was so much. Like I think I'm still gonna release some from like the last days of Sinaloa. And then a little bit of the Cabo, because I was like started recording the Cabo trip, and then I was just like, dude, I just want to enjoy this. Like I do not want to freaking
sometimes it's
edit.
nice
I do
just
not want to.
sit back.
I
And
got a little
enjoy it.
tiny bit, but nothing like
Crazy.
the full experience, like what it was.
Right.
Um,
Okay, so tell me about some of the stuff you did when you were in Mex, because I saw a bunch of different stuff on your stories, and now you were posting on social media, and I was like, damn, this fool's getting the full experience.
dude, yeah, so it was sick. Okay, so it was sick because like both of my parents' side are completely different. Dad's side is completely different from my mom's. For those that don't know, my dad is from Zacatecas, and what was really cool is that he's not from a ranch. Like he's a city boy, so he's like from a little barrio called La Quinta, and it's like 5 minutes away from downtown. But like when you're up on the hill, everything is connected. So it's like, you know, when you go to like a big city and it's just like you just cross the street and you're in a different town. That's how it felt when I was in San Bern. Like we'd just be like driving, and then all of a sudden we're in like Adelanto, and then all of a sudden we're in a different town. I was like, dude, like 10 minutes ago we're just in another town.
Yeah.
So it's like that. You just cross the street and you're in a different city. It's kind of like that. But to go back, like they're basically come from two different lifestyles, so I got to experience that when I was with them. So like we land in Zacatecas, And literally our first stop was like a panaderia. Like my dad got bread. Like, and what was really cool, bro, is that for those that know, like that was my dad's first time going back in 30 years. So when I turned 21, like I fixed their papers. They were able to get the residency within 2 years. Like there was a process to where my dad's took a little longer because there was like a slip up with the lawyer, a misunderstanding. And so finally when we got it, like we had planned this trip since last year. And we planned it for, I want to say December. And then like with the COVID shutting down, we were really unsure. We were kind of like scared to get our tickets. And then like, let's say it continues to shut down.
Yeah.
So we're like, man, we should just wait a little longer. So we did. And then finally we're just like, screw it. We're going to go in April. We got our tickets and we ended up going. And so like it was very emotionally overwhelming for my dad. And like as soon like the first like as soon as we landed, like my uncle Victor, he's visited over here, so it's just kind of like, hey, how you been, you know?
Right.
But like my tío Güero was like the first time seeing his brother in like 30 years, so like it was just crying like the first 2 days. it was very.
You ever here vlogging them just crying?
No, that's the thing, bro. Like I didn't like I got some of the moments, but I didn't capture all of it.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to sit there like on my phone.
I don't think it's appropriate.
Yeah, like
you're good. Yeah.
Like they are like on their side, like I could have gotten that video because my uncle was getting it on like Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like they just embrace and hug, and it's just like really cool to see. And like so like yeah, like the first few days kind of showing each other around, but it's like getting to meet the family. So like the first day we landed, they like rented out like this little ranch where they can, like I talked about on one of the vlogs, but it's just like a little spot that they rent out that has like a pool table, like a little hall to hang out, has a bunch of tables, it has like a grill, it has a pool, it has a little soccer field, and they rented it out for the whole family. And literally that's kind of like when you're meeting everyone, like. And it was kind of crappy because like I would meet like 30, like 40 cousins and I don't remember their names. So it's like the next time, yeah, like there's like a few times where I'm just like, hey, like introducing myself, like, oh, we already met. I'm like, oh, like, and you kind of feel bad because it's like, damn, yeah, like I felt bad.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. It was like they treated us like we were royalty, like literally didn't pay for food, nothing. Like took us touring. Like I'll get into that. But like when we went to, that little spot, like they got a mariachi for my dad. And it's funny too because my dad had always said like, oh, I just want to sing with a mariachi, like I just want to sing.
Yeah, and I saw your video. He was singing with that.
Dude, he was getting down, bro. He was getting down. But yeah, that first day was sick because it's just like you kind of like, it's a kind of like a big icebreaker. And it's just like uncles that I've spoken to over FaceTime or something, but never like meeting them in person. And you don't really get to see like their personality. And you know my dad. For like those that know my dad, like gets along with everyone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He has a big personality. He's easygoing. He's easy to get along with, and that's kind of how they are over there. So it's really cool to see. But at the same time, it's just like such a trip to me because I'm just like, they're like little different versions of my dad. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird, and it's just like, it's cool to see. But it like one big difference over there is like their sense of humor is so different, and it's like so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like their jokes, and I'm just like at times because like it takes me a few seconds to kind of like translate everything in my head because like I think in English. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When I'm speaking Spanish, I'm thinking about how I can say it in English or in Spanish.
Yeah.
But yeah, like their some jokes would just go over my head, and later I just be like, oh, and I'm like, that's actually really funny. Like, but they were so patient too, because like, I think at first, like I think my Spanish is okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm not super confident speaking it in a large group, in a large setting. You know, like I'm not going to just go out of my way and speak Spanish. So I think they thought I either couldn't speak it, I was like really shy, a shy person. And I feel like I can be like with people I don't know, but like, you know me, I don't think I'm a shy person.
Yeah, no.
But over there, I feel like that was their first impression of me. And then like as soon as we get to like know each other and talk more, they kind of like they would tell me there's like 2 or 3 times where like different cousins would be like, oh, like I thought you didn't speak Spanish at all. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I can. Or they told me like, oh, like I thought you were just really shy, or that's how you were.
Right.
But it was like, my point is that they were super patient with me, and like it was really cool. I remember telling you this one time that like this girl I dated was like, she was like super close with her cousins and like lived with their cousins, like, and I was just kind of like, oh, it's really cool that she's like, yo, you don't have that? And I'm just like thinking, I was like, no, I mean, I don't have cousins in Fort Bragg. Like, she was like, so you don't hang out? It's like, well, I have before, like, when I took trips, like, but that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't have that relationship with some cousins because my whole dad's side is in Mexico and my mom's side is like scattered around the U.S. to where it's like we don't go on vacations. We don't
see
visit
each other.
Yeah, we
every
don't see each
week.
other. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I remember she telling me, she's like, "Oh, that's really sad." And it was one of those things where you don't get offended. You're not like,
But you just kind of sit back. You're like, what did you wait? Wow.
you sit back because it's true. You sit back and you're like, wow, that hurts, but it's true. You know, like it is sad. It is sad, and I don't know that. And then, bro, like it's one of those things that you don't really know what's missing until you experience that. You know what I'm saying? And that now it's just like you're constantly longing for it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel about the whole overall experience of Mexico. Like, I remember when I went off the plane for Cabo, like on the plane for Cabo, I was just like thinking, like looking through my camera roll and like thinking about everything, and I'm just like, fuck, like I was just hella sad. Like I was just like I don't know what, it wasn't like sad, but it was just kind of like I'm gonna be longing for that. And I was like thinking like how my parents must feel like being over here and like living in Mexico, leaving their family, leaving literally their whole world, and like that's the feeling they probably have times like 100. You know what I'm saying? I was just there meeting new people, but it was just like overall great experience. But going back, I got off the rails right there. But what was really cool about my dad's side in Zacatecas is that like I have uncles that are interested in soccer. I have uncles that are interested in like bread making and horses, and like just driving around, like just showing me everything. Like one cousin of mine was married to this guy that he he raced BMX bikes. Like, did you see that picture I posted with like two?
Yeah.
That was my cousin and his son, and like they're like really competitive. Like, and I had no idea that was even a thing over there. Like mountain bike races.
Yeah, biking is huge in Mexico.
I did not know that.
Much of my cousins do that too.
Yeah, I did not know that. And like the only things I know is like going like with like my dad's friend, and like I talked to Anderson about it, and like I guess him and Triplet and all them like are really big into it, but like I don't think they race competitively. But it's like I know like Specialized is a big brand over here, like Santa Cruz, and it's like if you're serious about it, like you have one of those bikes. But a lot of times it's more for like recreational use as opposed to like racing and stuff.
Competing, yeah.
But these fools compete, and like we show up one day, and like there's Specialized bike, there's Santa Cruz, like all these like thousands of dollars for these bikes. And I'm like, wow, these guys are really serious. And my little cousin, he's like 13, he got first place in his age group out of like 80 competitors. And then his dad got like fourth out of like I think 70 something.
And this is BMX, like dirt.
No, not BMX.
Or cycling. You're talking about cycling? Is that what you mean? Like
it's mountain bikes. You know what mountain bikes are?
Yeah, but like, so what's the terrain they're driving or riding in?
Dirt. So it's like mountains.
Is it flat? Is it up and down?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. So they have like it was at an abandoned casino, like on the side of the road, going like out on the outskirts of Zacatecas, of the city. And yeah, it was just, we show up and there's like hundreds and hundreds of people in like little canopy tents, and like by the time we get to like the race is over, but they just like have this thing set up, and like all the families and spectators just kind of wait for them at the finish line.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of,
it's huge over there, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. But my point is that I had people that had different interests, so it's like we're not just doing one thing every time. You know what I'm saying?
Something
and it was so much family members that we couldn't fit everything into like those days that we were there, which is cool, but it's bad at the same time. It's like, oh, I want to meet them. But what's cool about it is that, we had something to do every single day.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's like we'd wake up, like we're gonna go have breakfast here, or like if there's any like famous spots that we wanted to hit, like we would go there, and then after we would like do whatever, like, or like walk around, travel, and then after, like at night, like family members would invite us to go eat somewhere. So it's like we're just constantly eating, bro. I gained so much weight.
So many good food.
So much good food. Yeah, I think the tortillas are different over there, easily noticeably different.
Handmade, man.
The rice is different. I don't like the rice over there. It's very like watery. The way that like every single plate of rice that I had was like not as good.
Maybe it's just from there, or that your family does it that way. Or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure it just depends on how they cook it. But right. I wasn't a huge fan of the rice over there. But everything else was good.
Did you eat a lot of street food, or was it mainly like families cooking meals at home? And then
it was a little bit of both. It just depends. Like when we would go out, like we would stop at restaurants and stuff, like a torta spot or taco spot. Like,
oh yeah.
But it was good. It was very good. There's a place called Tacos Envenenados, and it's like hard shell tacos, and then it'll have like a layer of like spicy beans at the bottom, it would just have like layers and like the sauce and everything. And it's like you bite it. It's weird because like you don't eat the taco from the bottom up. You eat the top down. When it's a hard shell. You eat it at the bottom, everything's gonna fall out. It's gonna crack under.
Yeah.
So it's like the way you eat it. It's like you taste the meat first, and then you start biting down, and then it's like the spicy beans, and it's like
like a technique to eating it.
Yeah, it's kind of like eating a cream filled donut. When you bite the outside, like you're not gonna just bite the inside. You're gonna bite the outside first. You're gonna work your way back, like eating a sandwich. You're gonna work your way back.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but basically my point is that the bottom layer was like the spicy part, so you don't get like spiced until the very end. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
Maybe just a weird observation of mine, but there like we hit hella spots, but a lot of times it was like family. Like that was my first time eating tacos de tripa. Like never had them in my life.
Okay. What'd you think?
Good, very good. I had them kind of like semi hard to where they're not like fully, because it just tastes like chicharrones. In my opinion, it tastes like tacos with little chicharrones, but I loved it. It was good.
Nice.
But to answer your question, it was like a lot of family like inviting us to eat and stuff, and
cool.
It was very fun. I enjoyed that a lot, and it was very interesting how like they never knew me, but they like treat me like they've known me my whole life.
Dude, that's that Mexican hospitality, man. That's what it is.
I think it's the family and Mexican. Yeah, that's how they are. It's very different over there. Like how they have so little, but they like offer you everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's very.
That's dope.
It's obviously people are like that here, but like over there, it's something that it stands out to you. Like, oh wow, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
very apparent that they're going out of their way to do something.
Yeah, and it's just like no, I'm okay, thank you. Like, are you sure? I'm like, no, trust me, I'm good. And like ask you like 5 or 6 times. I'm like, hey, like if you ask me again, we're gonna have problems. Like I'm good. I promise.
They still get you what you want.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, all right, I give in eventually.
Yeah.
But dude, that was an experience. What did we do over there? Over there, it's like a mining town. So that like you know how Fort Bragg is like a fishing.
Yeah.
It used to be lumber. Like it's kind of like has something that it's known for. Over there, it was like a mining city, and like bro, it was so like when you learn about the history of it, it's like really messed up. Cause like when you tour the mine, it's called La Mina del Edén. Like it was like Spanish settlers that came over here. It's like rich, wealthy Spanish men that owned the mines and would make like the indigenous people work. And like when you see like the conditions that they worked in, like they would go into work before the sun came up, and they would leave work. They're stuck in the mine all day, and they would leave when the sun went down, so they would never see sunlight. So they like died of diseases like
didn't have
lack of sun or vitamin D. I don't know what it is. Like they would just have a bunch of deficiencies, and that would like negatively affect them. And on top of that, like they'd be breathing in the dust in the mine. And on top of that, they didn't have any protection, like no protection gear. So it's like when you're touring, they'll show you little monitos or like the statues of the time periods. And at first it was like they were just a lot of times they would work naked, so they could just like be more efficient and like move faster and stuff and like carry less weight. But at the time, that's what they would do. They would just wear kind of like cloth on their, like as like underwear or shorts or something. That's what they would wear. They wouldn't wear shirts or anything. But basically, like these first settlers, to get these people to work, they would lie to them and tell them that anything shiny was valuable. So it's like they would let them keep like glass or like quartz at the time, which is like not as valuable as it is now, but like they would let them keep that kind of stuff and just like keep all the gold and all the plata for themselves. So like they would just play these people, and like hundreds of like there was like I forget what she said, but there was like hundreds of people that would die a day in the mine from like accidents and stuff.
I'm sure.
Dude, it's
one
like
of the most dangerous things.
It was really sad. It was really sad, and like it's crazy. That was another thing too. Like over there, like there's so much tradition. Like there's a thing called I'm probably gonna butcher it. It's like I think it's like El Morismo or La Morisma or something, and it's basically like it's like a huge. It reminded me of like a Civil War reenactment, and it was like a reenactment of like when I think the Spanish beat the Turkish, which is super random. I don't understand why they do it in Mexico.
Okay. And they celebrated there?
They celebrated there. Not this year. I don't think last year because of COVID, but like it's like hundreds of people participate, and like I have like all my cousins participate in it, and it's like a huge like proud thing, because like it'll be like families take certain roles. So it's like my uncle would like play the trumpet, another cousin would like participate like loading the cannons and stuff. Like that's what they were telling me, like imagine like telling each other, like imagine him like being in like the Morisma like with us, like, oh yeah, he's a big guy, he could load the cannons for us. And so I was like I was like, what, dude?
Like, hey bro, next year you gotta be here for this.
Like it's like, yeah bro, like I'm so down, just invite me. I was like, no.
What is going on here?
Yeah, but Yeah, I just thought that was strange. It's
interesting.
like, why do you guys celebrate that? It's like Spanish, like
Yeah.
it's like Spanish, it's like, but they're also like so proud of like the Mexican Revolution
Okay.
or Mexican independence.
Well, that makes sense for me though, because they're Mexican. So
Yeah,
they would
it's
be
like
proud of that.
yeah, you're taking your homeland from the Spanish, or it's like you're taking what you're fighting for it. It's
Yeah.
like that's one thing. Okay, have pride in that, but it's like why are you celebrating the Spanish's war against Turkey?
Turkish.
Like I just don't get that. Like that was a thing that just made me think. It's like
Maybe it's an excuse to dress up and have fun and
yeah, absolutely.
you know.
It's tradition. But like I think the thing ends with that one of the Turkish, either the commander, the leader, or whoever, I don't know any of the terminology, but like getting decapitated.
So how do they
like
do that?
ceremonially, and like there's so like that, like the dad gets decapitated, and then when he doesn't do it anymore, he hands it over to the son. So like they keep it in the family of that role. It's weird.
Damn, so somebody dies every year or what? They just like,
But not
son is-
literally.
I know,
like
I'm
it's,
joking.
But yeah, I just remember that it was like a big thing over there. And then like
Interesting.
it was cool because my dad's family, like you know how we make bread here?
Yeah.
Dude, my dad's family, like they all like all my uncles make bread. Like all my cousins on my I think what was my grandma's side or my grandpa's side. I don't remember what side, but like they have their own bakeries and stuff. So it's kind of cool to see like where my dad started making bread at and to really see that it's like a family tradition.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. It was really cool. And the bread over there is good. I think the flavor is good, but like the quality is not as good as like my dad makes.
Interesting.
And the reason for that is because they make it in like they make like 10,000 plus pieces a day. And,
Right.
and me and my dad and my uncle only make 1,000 like to 1,500.
Right.
Like it's so we can like focus on the quality over the quantity.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And I think my dad's empanadas are way better. The polvorones over there are so good.
Damn.
So good.
That's
The
sick seeing all
elotes over there are so good. Like there's some bread that was like really good and then other bread like you look at it and like this is crap. And then like the flavor's not as good. But like they just make a lot.
Uh-huh.
So it's like you can understand why like they kind of just crank it out and stuff.
Nice.
But it's sick, bro. Like you got to see a little bit of everything. And then just kind of like I remember it came like the horse, like you mentioned the horses, like that came out of just like me being like, oh, like I just want to ride horses. Like I was just messing around. I was like, quiero montar un caballo. And then my uncle was like, yeah, you want to? Like I can call blah blah blah. Like he's your cousin. I was like, yeah, sure. So he called him and like bro, like for like the I think it was like 3 days where I couldn't because like I had so much to do. And then it was like one day. This one day I was gonna go visit Bubba because Bubba was in Jalpa. Shout out to Bubba Swag.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was in
Hey.
Jalpa and he was like, hey, like Meño too, like shout out to Meño. And they're like telling me like, hey, like if you're in Mexico, like come visit. And I was like, well, this day, like I think it was a Tuesday. I was like, I don't have anything to do, like I'm down. So I was gonna catch a bus over there and just hang out with him for the day. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I think it's kind of selfish of me to like not hang out with my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just like, I was like, I kind of felt bad because I already told him I was gonna go. So I was like, hey man, like I think I'm just gonna hang out here. He's like, oh no worries. So he was like really cool about it.
Yeah.
But that day was the day that I rode horses. So I forgot what we did before that. Because everything's kind of like a blur. Everything just
Yeah.
I
that's
would
a
need
lot
to
of
see
days.
like my camera roll that day and really know what I did. But basically there's a little spot called I think it's El Bracho or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where like that ceremony takes place. But it's so weird because when they do that ceremony where they have parties in that like little spot, like there's abandoned houses and no one lives in them. And it's kind of like a thing that I don't know if it's regulated by like some type of government or whatever, but like no one's allowed to live in them, and they're only for like when they have parties for people to stay there when they're like faded.
Damn.
Isn't that weird?
House is dedicated for people when they get faded.
Yeah. Okay. So like that little spot when
Crazy.
in the vlog, when I did the vlog of, like right before we ride horses, like I show like some buildings, like that little spot right there, like it has like 4 or 5 rows of just like abandoned houses, and they have like little beds in them and stuff.
Damn.
And it's just like you just find a free bed when you're there and you're fucked up and you can't drive home. And
Interesting.
isn't that weird? It's just like different.
Yeah.
Like here you don't find like abandoned houses. Like
Yeah. Can't just go in and sleep in the.
yeah, but I back to the horseback riding. Like it's something that I always wanted to do. I've never ridden a horse. I've always been scared of pet horses. Like I'm just scared of them. Like they're so huge. But I've heard that like if you're scared of the horse, it's like not gonna listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see why, because like when you're on the horse, you have to be aggressive with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of felt bad because like I don't know what they're called, the spokes I think, or the little round spiky things in the back of the boots.
Yeah.
Like you have to hit them hard. Like I would do it and like no, like dale más, and I like kick it hard, and it would just start trotting. I'm just like, oh, these poor things, like. And I've been in Ukiah when I used to live there. Like one of my buddy's cousins trains horses, and like the way you train them, like you hit, like you beat them until they do what you want them to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of messed up, but that's the way you do it.
If you're gonna train horses.
Yeah, if you're gonna train horses, and it's like I'm sure people listen to this that train horses or are used to that kind of thing. It's just like, dude, that's what you do, you know. But I'm just like, I've never experienced it.
Right.
But it's easy, bro. Riding a horse is easy. Like you literally have the rein and you hold it and you just tell it to go this way, tell it to go this way. If you want it to shift over to the left, you just kick it on one side, on the left side, and it'll go to the right. Excuse me. If you want it to shift right, you just kick it on the left and make it go right. Yeah. It's like driving a car. Yeah. You just turn it. If you want it to accelerate, you just kick it hard. But it's kind of hard, like when it's full speed, like you have to like get the rhythm of the horse. You're just like, dude, like it's like, because the horse is bouncing and then you're bouncing on top of it. It's like you have to like move your hips, but like you have to get the rhythm, or you're just like like. But it was fun, dude. It was fun.
I remember the first time I rode a horse. It was here in McCarricker.
Did you really?
Yeah. There's a little like stable or whatever, and you can you pay money and you
I didn't know you've done that.
Yeah, I did that. It was in high school. It was part of the partnership scholars, and so they did that. And I was like, oh, this should be fun, and so it was cool. Yeah, so I totally understood all that, and at first I was hella nervous too. Yeah, I mean I was much smaller. It's a huge animal, and I was like, what? And they told me that's one of the things they said is like just do it, like don't double think it, because when you question it, the horse is gonna get all like nervous.
You're gonna confuse it.
And so and then when we went there, we crossed the street and went on this little trail. Then we went on the beach and we just came back. We didn't do anything like major, like
you're just
running.
Walking,
yeah,
right?
We were just basically walking a little bit. Yeah, so it wasn't anything crazy, but yeah, it was fun. I'd definitely do it again. So when I saw your video doing it, I was like, dude, that's hella sick.
Dude,
Good
yeah, and like, bro, like over there, it's like, what was cool is that it's not like, cause here it's like a business and you pay them, and over there it was just like my cousin.
Yeah, he just has a horse.
Just met him right there. Just met him like, hey, what's up? And he was like working at the panaderia. Like in my vlog, there's a panaderia that we visit. Yeah. There's two that we visit, but the second one, was it the second one? I don't know if it was the second or first one, but that was where on my Insta I posted like the mandil. It was like Rios Panaderia. It was that one, and he had just gotten off work and we were waiting for them at Bracho, and he shows up. And I thought it was going to be like this big group, but it was just me and him, which is kind of cool because I was more comfortable. I was pretty nervous, and he just like took us, and they had like, I think like 6 horses in like their little stables. And it was just, I forget what my point was. Oh, when we started going, like, bro, like we went like on the mountains. Like it was such a sick view, bro. Like I don't think the videos did it justice, but like you see like the whole city. Like it was sick. Damn. It was sick, bro. And like it was great, dude. Like I loved it. It was so exciting, and it was so cool because I'm just like, oh, this isn't that hard. Like I could ride horses, you know? Yeah. Like my buddies in Ukiah, like, you want to get on? I'm just like,
you're nervous.
Yeah, it's like I'm not down, but fucking kicked off.
I'm not trying to die today.
Yeah, but that was good. That was Zacatecas. Nayarit was a completely different experience.
And that's where your mom's from?
Yeah.
And it was just because she's not from a city, right? So it's like all.
Yeah, it's like a ranch life, and it was just a change of pace, which was good because when we were in Zacatecas, it was so fast, it was so busy, it was like so hectic, and you get tired. You know what I'm saying? But never on that trip did I feel like I just want to go home. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I was enjoying it all. When you went because you've been to Mexico before. Like what were the immediate difference? Because I want to ask you, like what were the immediate differences that you noticed from like your life over here?
Well, it's been a while since I've gone, but like for me, I'm from like a small town. So for me, the first thing that you notice is like what you said. It's like not favela style, but it's like all these houses made out of like brick.
Did you fly internationally or did you drive?
Yeah,
there?
I always fly internationally. Yeah, we've only ever driven one time, like way back in the day, and I hated it. It was terrible. I had to like sleep in the back of the car, and like my back was all messed up. And
okay. Before hold your story, I want to just say one thing before I forget. So like before I went, I'm like scared. Like that's kind of, I think that was another reason, because I could always have gone. You know, I'm a citizen. I could have traveled and stayed with family over there. But like these stories that you hear from Mexico, like it scares you. You're like, dude, like if I go, like I don't, because like I remember before I went, I was like hanging out with at Big D's house, and they had a barbecue, and I was telling his family, him and his wife's family, that I was gonna go, and like, oh, don't wear your Apple Watch over there, don't carry your phone over there, don't have your wallet on you, don't carry all your money with you at the same time. So it scares you, like, dude, where am I going? Am I going to like a war zone? Am I going to Syria? Like, what's going on? Like, and you hear these stories, and like, you hear on the news the cartel and how corrupt it is, and how the cops are this and that, and I'm just like, super kind of like
paranoid.
I'm paranoid of the whole experience, and then you get over there and literally didn't experience any of that. And like the way that like military people talk about like ISIS and stuff, it's kind of like they're like so on edge, and they're like looking around, and they're kind of viewing everyone as like they're the enemy, because ISIS people aren't just walking around the streets. Like, it could be like a father of 5 that works and is just like involved in this movement. And it's kind of like that in Mexico, because I expected to like see cartel members like on the side of the road, like guarding a city or guarding, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like ideas that are put in my head.
Right.
But you go over there and you don't see any of that. Like, you don't see any crime or any, like, at least where I, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in a city, I was like in little ranches, I was in supposedly like the most dangerous state in whole Mexico, like, and you don't see any of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's an incentive for, like, it's les conviene that whoever's controlling that area to like not have any of that, because it's like good for business.
Yeah.
And
You don't want to scare people off. You don't wanna...
you want people to be there. But yeah, that was like one thing too. Like the cops, like they're like patrolling the like roads, and I captured some of that. Like they're just like it's either like la marina, the National Guard, the just like state police, and just like either walking around, or they're like driving around like on the back of a truck, hanging off the back of a truck with like their guns. Like, you don't see that here.
That's the thing. Yeah,
I'm just like, what the hell? I'm like driving by a security,
yeah.
or like walking by a security guard, and he just has like a shotgun hanging off his back.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
yeah,
like even here, like the cops have it like in their holster, it's buttoned, like if they have an AR.
They're not rocking around with shotguns.
Hell no. And if like if they're like they have it in their car, it's like locked with a key. Like it's not just
out in the
open. It's like very like, it's like, oh my god, like this place is dangerous, and like everybody has guns there. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I just want to say that before I forgot.
No, I mean that you're totally right, because that's the thing I noticed too. But the main thing for me, like the first thing that catches my attention, is just like the structures of the buildings. Like it's all like clay or like
brick,
and I'm just kind of like, whoa. And then when I walk in, it's like, I don't know, not that it's bare, but like I walk into like my living room and I feel like, oh, this is like a living room, like a home, I have like a carpet and like couches and everything. And then I walk over there in Mexico and I go into like my grandpa or grandma's house, and it just like seems like, oh, there's a few things here and there. Maybe that's just because I don't come from a lot of money, but like the big thing was, it just felt more open. It felt more natural, more authentic, kind of like, not to say that I'm putting up like a show at my house or whatever, like we're trying to make it seem like we're super rich or anything, but it just made it seem like you could tell like my mom's trying at my house, like to set everything up to make it look really welcoming. And over there it was just kind of like, well, this is it. It is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I don't know if welcoming is a word, but like, you know how like she gets like, she decorates it the way she wants. You know what I'm saying? And like, I agree with what you're saying, because over there, like the houses are very like bare. They're very minimal. Just like one picture frame and like one couch, and like the rest of it is just like cement floor.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Brick wall and stuff. But like, it's very hard. Like you have to, like, I did not want to have like a spoiled kid mentality of like, what? This is how you guys shower? Like this is how you guys like flush the toilet? Bro, like to flush the toilet and like Nayarit, bro, like, you have to like get like they have
you get a
buckets, like, so they have like big trash cans filled with water, and then you have a bucket. So like, and then the weird thing is that they have the toilet, like the porcelain toilet, and then like they have no toilet lid. There's no seat that you put up or down. Like there's nothing you sit on. It's just because you know how like there's a toilet and then there's like the little the seat that you sit on when you go number 2.
Yeah.
And then like you can flip that up with the lid. So there's usually two lids.
Yeah, there's a lid that covers that one.
They don't have either of those.
They
don't have either of them.
Oh, okay. Well,
so you're sitting on the cold, like on the cold
you're squatting or you're sitting
or you sit like, but they don't, like, they can put that seat on, but they don't.
Interesting. Okay.
And then they don't have the top tank, so it's just like the bottom. And then when you're done, like you have to like throw the water on it hard and it flushes.
Yeah.
Like it's so strange.
Yeah.
And then like that's how they shower. So it's like their shower, like it's like a cement floor, and then like the toilet's like in one corner, and then it's just like the water right there, and you just pour water on yourself like right there. So like when you would like step into like the bathroom, like you have to either go in with like chanclas or you have to go in with like your shoes, because like you'll get your feet wet if you just want to go in there and use the bathroom. So it's very
that's why huaraches are like the daily.
Yeah, that was another thing too. In Nayarit and Sinaloa, like every man would wear huaraches. Same with girls, but like I feel like it's more normal here with girls. Like they wear like sandals or or something. But over there, like every man would be like wearing jeans and like huaraches or something, or shorts and huaraches. But yeah, going back to your point, like it was very minimal over there. Like at least in like Zacatecas, like they would have like running water. But like in Nayarit, like or Sinaloa, like it was either like just cold water, like you'd have to take cold showers, which wasn't bad because over there like it was like 80 degrees at night, so it's just like I'm down for cold showers. But it was just like the way they would flush the toilets, and then like they have a thing called la pila, which is like people would come, like my uncle, like the last day we were there, my uncle like he buys water, so like they just come park in front of his house, run a hose to la pila, and just fill it up with water, and then like if like he'll pay for a certain amount of water, so it's like if the pila fills up, he'll take the hose out real quick and he'll just start filling like a trash can full until
he gets his money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then like that, like I remember there was a point when we were in Sinaloa and like the pump that would like run water into the house so we could shower and use a sink and stuff, it broke, so we like had to use a pila. So it's just like it's like this big tall countered height, like little, think of like a bathtub, but it's just like a square fucking, I don't even know how to explain it. I should have took pictures. But like it's like a square tina, and it's like counter height, so it's like big and it's deep and it's just filled with water. It's clean, clear water. And then on the side
dude, I have one at my grandma's house. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've never seen those.
Yeah.
I've never seen those ever.
Yeah.
And they would have those for the bathroom. They would have those for the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then they would have them for just outside if they are in the laundry room. And then it's like on the side of it, it's just like a cement little slope that like has a hole running out, and the water just runs out that way. And if they're smart, they'll filter it to like the plants or something, or they'll just like let it run outside. But you just get like a bowl, and that's how you would wash your hands. Like you'd get soap, and then you'd get the thing, and you just like run it water, and then just continue to do that. If you're like gonna do laundry, you just like run it, and then you just like scrub it in the thing. You brush your teeth on it, like you just pour it like.
It's just a water source. That's what
it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I sound like spoiled when I talk about how, because like I'm sure people are gonna listen to this like, dude, like duh, like I've been to Mexico before, like I know that, I've seen that, but it was just such a shock to me. Like
I mean, that was your first time. It makes sense.
Dude, it was wild. It's such a like it was definitely a change of pace. Like it was like a slower vibe in Nayarit and in Sinaloa. Like the way they live over there is like very like ranch life. Like they grow their own food. They barely spend money. Like I don't even know if they work over there, but like where we went, and my mom's ranch, it was like a fishing town. So it's like they all fish over there. But it was very, very different from what I'm used to, and it was very different from Zacatecas too. So it was kind of cool, like you mentioned earlier, like I got to experience like the city life. I got to experience like horses and BMX and soccer over there. I didn't even talk about that. I got to play over there with my uncles. Like they're pretty good, and they took me to go play with their teams. I had just missed out on like the Semana Santa tournament too. And it's like barrios from all Zacatecas, like they all go and they compete for like the like bragging rights.
Oh damn!
It's sick, bro.
You
like,
just missed it.
And I just missed it for like a week. It's like a 3-day tournament. I wish I would have gone. But yeah, I got to experience a lot of it. So it's like you get to see like Mazatlan, which is like Miami of like Mexico, and then you get to experience like the city. You get to experience the ranch. So it's like I got like the best of. In my opinion, I got to see like a lot of it. Because it's like one thing of like, oh sorry, what?
No, go on.
Because it's like one thing like, oh, you've been to Mexico? Yeah, I've been to Cabo and I've been to Cancun.
Yeah,
it's
see,
like
that's not
Mexico. And that was one thing like about the Cabo trip. It's like I didn't know what Cabo looked like going into it, and then when you land, it's desert. It's like dry mountains. So I'm just like, what the hell? Like I thought it was gonna be like tropical beach, kind of like Nayarit. You know, it's like jungle-esque Like Nayarit looked like you were in Cuba. Like it looked like I was like in one of those Call of Duty like little game, like before a mission they'll play like that, and it was like they're in Cuba and like they're doing like that's what it looked like. I was like, what the hell? Like I've never seen anything like it. Like palm trees everywhere, like just like the way it is. Like you get like the ocean, like you get the vibe that the ocean is nearby. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Cabo was not even like that. Where we stayed, it was like a resort. So it's like, it's not like right on the beach. And I thought it was going to be like right on the beach. It was like in the mountains, like on the resort. And then it's like you drive down to the beach. But dude, it was sick.
So I was going to say overall your experience in Mexico was...
Dude, 10 out of 10.
Nice.
10 out of 10, bro. I got like the family trip vibe. And then I just got like the vacation, like just hungover for a week straight vibe. Like
I saw that,
dude. Bro. It was so sick,
you're living
bro.
your best life,
dude.
it
was lit, and it was like a grad present. So like with my parents, it was was like my graduation present because I'm graduating next month.
Okay.
And then with the other one, it was just kind of like I just bought the ticket. But dude, Cabo was so expensive. I remember like I wanted to like buy a shirt. Like it was like because like on the beach they're selling shirts and they're selling everything. And I was like, how much for a shirt? He's like, 40. And I was like, pesos? And he's like, huh. He's like, no estamos en el rancho, chaval. And I was like, what, dude? Like $40 just for a t-shirt? You're tripping.
Mm-hmm.
But they can do that because it's just a bunch of white people. There's just rich white people
Mm-hmm.
on the beach. So it's just like they just milk them for money. Like the first night we went out, bro, like we wanted to go to this club and they were charging us $500 to get in. $500 US. Dollars.
Not pesos.
Not pesos. Dollars. And our next best option was to get to another club, which is like, it's called Mandala. And it's like, there's like a bigger one and there's like another, like the sister club. But like, they're empty. Like, it's not even popping yet. Like, we got there, like, and the clubs were empty and they're charging us $500 to get in. It's like, you're stupid. So we like go to another one and the next best one was 2 bottles for $200. So we just did it. We're like, fuck it.
But everybody included gets in for 200 or?
Yeah. I think it's per table. So we got a table.
Okay, gotcha.
And like, we have to get a bottle. But like, we looked at the menu. It's like 2,000 pesos per bottle, which is like $100.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just like, screw it. There's kind of a lot of us. So we just like calculated it. It's like, fuck it. We'll just do it.
Yeah.
But it was hella fun.
Damn. What a good experience.
Dude, it was sick. It was sick. And now I'm kind of regretting not recording a little more in Cabo.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just an overall great experience, dude. It was lit.
Damn. And you said, I know you mentioned earlier when you were coming back through customs or through like driving back, because you drove back, right?
Oh, yeah. So I went with my parents from the 6th to the 23rd.
Okay.
That was that trip with the Zacatecas, the Nayarit, and the Sinaloa trip. That was within those 3 weeks. And we flew domestically. So it was kind of smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like minimal security and everything.
Right.
So we flew from Tijuana to Zacatecas. And then we got a bus from Zacatecas to Tepic, Nayarit.
Gotcha.
And it was great. I slept like a baby on the bus. A lot of room. Not that many people. Like, I loved it. It was lit. It was like about a 6 or 7 hour drive, and I slept the whole way through. Then we flew from Mazatlan, which is about an hour from where we were staying, to Tijuana when we were going home.
Yeah.
So we landed in Tijuana, and we would cross. So like we were stuck at the border, like in traffic, for like an hour and a half, and then we get to the border, and then like the cars in front of us are just going through and driving off, and then I'm telling you, this guy just like saw us and then just like put her ID in the orange thing and just like, all right, just go to the right here, follow this gate.
What car were you driving?
My mom's Mazda CX-5.
Okay.
So it was like a bigger car. And it was like an SUV. And we get there, they tell us to park, and then like we have to wait like in this like fenced off like bench area. And I you could not allowed to record in there. You can't get your phone because like they'll pop you. And so like I wanted to record but I couldn't. And we're just waiting there for like an hour. And like, there's just like guys walking by. And
so you were parked at this time, or you're like?
We leave our car parked and we're just sitting there.
Oh, what the
hell? We're just waiting. And then there's just like people coming in and out. And then it's like, they have like dogs, like the sniffer dogs walking by. And they like have people walking by with a kit. And like they'll be stripping down cars like right in front of us. Like they'll be finding stuff like in rundown vans. Like, and my cousin Blanca's like, she's been there like so many times, so she'll be like, look, they just found something in that car. And like they'll be like walking out with like a bag, like plastic wrap. Like you see like in movies how like the Coke is like packaged in bricks.
Yeah.
And it's like taped off and like plastic. It'll be like bags of that. Nothing like, you won't see like the brick Coke obviously, but like it'll be like those types of bag. Like they'll have like gloves and just like I see like a bunch of like trash and just like walking by with the trash. And just like, look, they just found something. And it'll have like me walking back with like a kit. And literally, bro, when it was our turn, the guy literally just opened the car, searched through the glove compartment, looked through the back, didn't go through our luggage or anything, and then just like let us go.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have done that the first 5 minutes we were here. Like
you gotta wait an hour for them to do
dude,
that?
it was so annoying, and it's just like you can't say anything.
Okay, that's hella funny because the one time I told you, there's one time when we drove over there and I hated it, but we came back and we were like in an SUV type thing too. And when we came back, it was the same deal, but we didn't have to wait out for like an hour. We stayed in our cars, but like when we got right to like where it was about to be crossing the border, they like stopped the car. They told us to get out. And then some guy came in and just did exactly what you said. Just checked the glove compartment, just kind of looked around, didn't do anything crazy. I was an idiot. You know how you're not supposed to take like fireworks back from Mex to, yeah. So
You
I
have
had
to report that.
yeah. So I had one of these little cuetas right there, like on the side, like literally like in where you put your cup for your drinks, and I just had it just laying there. It was a little one, it wasn't anything crazy, but I still had it there. And the guy didn't just left it there. He didn't even say anything, and they didn't even check our suitcases either. Just looked around like, all right, you're good to go. We got back in the car and we left. So it was, I didn't have to wait. It was just like a simple like 5-minute process, and they didn't even care I had a firework on the side. Like,
Where'd you guys cross from? From TJ?
yeah.
Damn.
So
That guy was also telling us that like something had happened at like another border. Like I think there was an accident or something happened to where like it was stopped heavy. So like they were getting, Tijuana's border was getting all the traffic from that border.
oh,
So like everybody, instead of crossing over there, were trying to cross from Tijuana, and that's why it was so backed up.
mm.
Because the guy asked us like, how long you guys waited for? Which was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. He's like, he's like, it's usually not this bad. And then like, it seemed like he was gonna let us through because he was just like being cool, you know, he's chatting us up. And then he just gave us a thing, and then right there we just waited. So they had us park, and then they told us just to get out, and we were just waiting for them to do their inspection, and then literally took like 2 minutes, and then we were just gone.
Damn.
But it was cool. It was cool. And then like when I flew internationally for the Cabo trip, so like I was saying that was domestically, and then we drove across the border, and then we went back to my cousin's house, stayed the night, and the next day I drove over to Santa Barbara with my buddy, and then I got dropped off there. My parents, they took off. We hung out there for the day, and then we drove to LA, stayed the night in a hotel, and then we flew out the next morning. And that was like, as soon as you land, like you get your luggage, and it's kind of like you're stoked, and then like you turn the corner, and then it's like borders and customs, and then it's just like you have to report what you're bringing in.
Yeah.
And the trick is just to say no to everything. They're still gonna check you.
Life hack.
Yeah, like if they're saying how much, like you have money, like obviously you're gonna have money on you. Just say no. Like how much money do you have? Just put nothing, and then like just put no on stuff you're bringing back. Like if you have food in the thing, no, and they won't check you. And then but like the line, bro, is like hundreds of people, like 300 plus people, like just like zigzagging back and forth. So you're like for an hour, you're just like, boom, stop, boom, stop, boom, stop, and you're just like boom, 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 and there's like 10 rows. And it's like, dude, just taking forever.
Damn.
And then when I flew back, we were the only flight to land in SF, so it was like super quick, super seamless.
Nice.
But it was good. I don't know what else I can talk about. It was really good. Obviously, like I was talking about, like everything over there is noticeably different. Like I remember specifically thinking like the street signs, like the letters are so huge on the sign, and here like they're so small and they're so detailed. It's like exit 46B towards highway or towards like route blah blah blah, like with the 101 this way. Like over there it'll just be like you're in Zacatecas and it'll be like Guadalajara that way, and you're just like, what freeway am I getting? Like what doesn't tell you anything, you know? Like what's the distance? Like it's just like so generic or so broad. Like it's very different.
Nice.
Other than that, I don't know
trip.
what else I can talk about. School was.
Oh yeah,
dude.
How was school over there? Because that's what I was thinking when you went over. I was like, this fool's gonna have to finish off his like semester there. Like, how's he gonna do it?
It was very, very tough. So what you need to do is plan your assignments ahead of time. And luckily for me, my spring break was like a week, 2 weeks before I went, so I had that time to kind of get some assignments in or done, but like the ones that I'm gonna be getting over there.
Yeah.
So the trick was to really just understand what's due, what's gonna be your most difficult assignment, really prioritize what's the most important thing, and just be prepared. So you just got to be disciplined too. And that was another thing too that the good thing is that it's online. You know, I don't have any classes where I have mandatory Zooms. Like I have classes that I have to do Zoom, but I just don't do it. And I just do my homework and I'm passing the class. But the trick is to be very disciplined, because there'll be times, and I felt really bad, but it's like my education is really important. I need to finish that. I can't just stick around and not get it done. And there'll be times when we're at family members' houses and I'm telling my dad like, hey, we got to go. And he's like, hold on. I was like, no, like I only have 2 hours to do this assignment. It's like an essay that needs to be done. Like it's a case study that I have to read the business case study, and I have to analyze, and I have to give it's like, it takes a lot of time. Yeah. And when I was here, like it would take me like a day to do it. So it's like, I'm just cranking it out, and
2 hours,
dude, 2 hours to do it. And it was very, very, it would just make my life more difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like it would make my life more difficult that I would have to do it in crunch time. And
yeah,
but I got it done. And then like, we'd be like we would have like Zoom meetings for like this like group project for my seminar, which is like my main senior project class. Like you have to do that. Like it's the cherry on top. And I would be like at a restaurant with my family, and just like in the middle of dinner, like I would just walk off and just be on Zoom for like 30 minutes and then just like walk back. Like, dude, when I did my my last assignment that I had to do, like we had to do like a 1-minute video teaser for like our project and basically explain what business we're gonna be analyzing, what the problem is, what our solution is, like what, and like a SWOT analysis, like strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats for the company, like what they can do differently. So just like that, and it's kind of like a 90-minute like little teaser clip to show the professor that we're on track. And I was at the beach in Cabo, and I was like tanning, and I was like recording it on my phone. I was like doing a voice memo, and in Cabo I didn't have service, so it's like I had to like record it, and like I had to hop on somebody's hotspot and just like connect it to the email and just send it out that way. And it was really cool is that my teammates were like super cool about it, and I told them like ahead of time, like, hey, during these days I'm not gonna have service, so just email me if you need to communicate with me. And they did, and it was just super chill about it. When that one time I was telling you that I hopped on like during dinner, like I just stepped away and I just hopped on. I was telling my professor like, oh look, I'm in Mexico, I'm doing this. He's like, oh, like, well, good luck with everything, like have fun. And then we did it that way. So it was like, it wasn't like a secret that I was in Mexico, but like it was just very like you had to plan ahead of time so you're not just kind of caught off guard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was kind of crappy because it's like I know I have a meeting at this time, this day. I know I have to do this day. Like I don't know what I'm gonna be doing that day. So I don't know if I'm gonna have internet. I don't know if I'm not gonna have internet. So like the most stressful part was like Cabo when I had to do like actual like group project assignments, because that's like your big like semester long project. Usually it's like a case analysis and you just give your kind of your point on it. And the class I'm taking is like a writing intensive course. So it's like we talked about it. It's called a thing called WEPT in Sonoma State that you have to take it. It's like a test, almost kind of like an SAT test. Like you go and you go in a certain weekend and you have to take the test, or an AP test. Yeah. And you just take it, and then if you pass, you pass. If you don't, like you don't graduate. So it's like I was like, dude, I'm not gonna risk it to where it's like if I fail it, I'm not gonna graduate. So I'll just take this course that has that integrated into it. But it's like more demanding because it was like 15 writing assignments, right. 15 essays like in a semester, and that, in my opinion, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that's not even including the project. So it's just like it was very hectic, but. Thank God it was online semester, and that was the only way I was able to do it. And that was the only reason I went. Because I'm like, oh, I could just do this.
You wouldn't have been able to do it if it was
I wouldn't
in person,
have, no,
right?
yeah. If it was in person or if I had to do like Zoom meetings every time, like I probably wouldn't have gone. But thank God I did. I got it done. I missed like 2 assignments, but I can make those up. Professor's pretty chill.
And you got how much time left before you...
I think I graduate. I don't even know what day I graduate. I should probably know that.
Probably.
I think it might be the 3rd week of May. So it's this month.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
It's coming up, dude. And I'm like not really too like crazy. I just want to be done.
Right.
I just want to be done.
I was the same way when I was finishing.
Like I don't care about ceremonies and stuff. Like if it's not gonna be like if it's not gonna be like in person.
Yeah. Even if it's in person, bro, I'm telling you, I did my in-person ceremony. It was not worth it. It was like 4 hours of just like sitting around.
No,
waiting
but
for people's names to be called
listen,
out.
and I agree with you. But it's like from my parents,
right?
You know
that's
what I'm
the
saying?
reason
Like,
why I did it.
It's for them. Yeah, it's for them to like see like, look, all this time and money and effort is like worth it. You know, like that's kind of like the big ceremony. It's more like how would I say it? Like the idea of it as opposed to like the actual, like it's more just like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank. It's more just kind of like ceremonial than like an actual like importance to it. And that's why like if it's like a Zoom one or like a virtual, like I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like I'm not gonna go to that.
Bro, that's terrible.
I don't care. Like,
yeah.
I think it's just because I've been in school for so long that I'm just over it.
It's gonna be a Zoom one, bro. I'm already telling you.
It is. Yeah, and I'm just like, it's like
be.
an online commencement, and then they have like, I keep getting like emails from like this like Latino club that it's like trying to get me to do theirs. I'm like, nah, I'm cool, bro.
I have the same thing too. Yeah, it's like, oh, you can be part of the Latinx ceremony because there's probably a different ceremony they're trying to offer you.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4. But yeah, I'm not down for that.
Damn.
But that's basically it.
Nice.
I don't know if I can talk about anything else. That's all I had here was a Mexico trip. Oh, dude, I didn't thank you for holding it down. Literally, I left you in the most stressful part of the whole process. Like,
yeah, I didn't even talk about that either.
Let's sign off on that. I'm done with this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. Like, I guess in my mind, I didn't really realize what I was going to have to be doing while you were gone. Like, because we had just put in the order right before you had left to Mex. Like, probably a week before, right, or something like that. We had made the announcements. We were getting the orders in. But the thing with our order, we wanted to make sure we had all the orders in before we put in the official order into Dawn at Epic Graphics. So we were still waiting on people who were still like interested or still on the fence and whatever. And so then once we had all the orders in, I put them in, and he's like, all right, it's going to take like about a week and a half or something to get all the orders in. And by that time, you were already going to be in Mexico. And so like, all right, like,
Yeah, I think like we put the order in a day before I left.
was that really when it
Yeah.
went? Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, yeah, no worries. I'll take care of it. But so, yeah. So as soon as he got it in, I had to go down. I had to pick up all the stuff. And then I literally just put everything on my bed. And it was crazy. It was overwhelming how many orders we had. Or I didn't realize, like, because some people ordered multiple things. So it wasn't just like one item per person.
So when you see the list, you're like, okay, we got this amount. But it's times 2, times 3, because they got like multiple.
Yeah. And so I got in, and it was like there was so much stuff. So the first thing I did was like the same day I got all the orders, I was like, I'm just gonna organize everything. So ahead of time, I had ordered the poly mailers, like the little like envelopes or kind of like plastic things that you can like put stuff in to mail. And so I got those specifically from Amazon for clothing. And so I got 2 different ones, one for like smaller ones for shirts, and then bigger ones for like hoodies and crews. And so I had all those ready, and then I got all the orders, I put it all on my bed, and then just one by one, I just started going down the list, and I was like, okay, boom, boom, boom. He got 3 things, put it together, fold them up. I watched a YouTube video on how to fold clothes properly into that. I even called shout out Talia, I called her up too, and I was like, hey, when you do your thing for Lovely Bay, like, how do you guys do it? And she's like, we just fold it. I was just like, okay, never mind. Sorry for the stupid question.
Yeah.
No, she was telling me that how her friend like really takes care of that part, and she's really good. She's like, just fold it nicely. And I sent her a picture of like what it was going to look like. And she's like, that looks really good. Just send it that way. So I did, yeah. And I just got all the orders in. I finished them all in one night. It took me like probably 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours. Like, and my back was killing me after, because I'm just like hunched over, like going back and forth, folding. But I just wanted to get it done. I remember I was watching, I think, the fight. There were some fights going on that night too. So I was just like watching the fights and hearing the stuff while I was folding. So like I kept busy. But yeah, I got them all done. And then the hardest thing was just like getting all the addresses for everybody. Because a lot of the times, like, it was people you knew, but I didn't know. So I had to get the addresses from you, or you'd have to call them. But I know you were busy in Mexico, and I know you had school. So I was like, I'm not trying to like.
No, yeah.
That
was definitely a hard thing. It's kind of like I'm over there. I'm like, I wonder how Gabe's doing with this.
Over here like crying and shit.
Yeah, and I think what we need to do differently next time is just get their address right off the bat.
Yes.
You know, get their address.
I would say
And
so.
our thing was like, we didn't want to just charge people off the bat. We wanted to wait for them to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then it's just like they get it and it's like, okay, how much do I owe you?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we just kind of need to do everything up front next time.
But I think it was fine, because like with my friends, the majority of them, I did just do it on front. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be this, and that. And most of the times they're cool. Like they're down to buy, they're down to support. So I'm like, all right, it's gonna be $20 for the shirt. All right, cool, I'll Venmo you. And it was super simple. And I was like, all right, I'll let you know when I ship out your order. I'll let you know. It should probably be there in a week. And yeah. And so then I got all the orders in. You gave me the addresses, and then I just had to figure out what's the cheapest way or best way or most effective way to mail everything. Because I had no idea. Like, I had gotten all these poly mailers, and like, okay, I had to go buy like little like white pieces to write the addresses and stuff like that. And I was like, so I just got some at the store, and I was like, is this even going to be the cheapest way? What if I go like a flat rate box at the United USPS? I'm like, maybe I just do that. And then I was like, all right. So I just brought some stuff in, and I started asking questions. Literally, I felt stupid, but I was like, listen, like, what's the cheapest way? What's the best way to mail this if I want to get it to this place? Like, it's in state. Like, oh, it's this. What if it's out of state? What if it's in Kansas? Because I know we had some orders in Kansas. What is the cheapest way? And so a lot of the times it's because the stuff that we're sending is so light, like it's just clothing, right? Most of the times the way I did it, putting in those poly mailers and just putting a label
having your
on
own
it,
package.
Having your own package is
the
cheaper.
Cheapest way? Okay.
Yeah. So the other things that weren't is like when someone ordered a hoodie and a crew together and it was a little bit heavier, you would have to I'd put it in the bigger black bags. And a lot of the times, if you were able to fit it into one of their like little envelopes that they sell, it's like a flat rate for like $9, regardless of anywhere in the United States. If you put it in that, it's going to be charge you $9. The lady was helping me. She was like, if you can fit it into that, it's going to be $9. If not, it's going to be $12.50 or
Could you fit in there?
And I think I could have in the future. I already had everything kind of put out together, and I was like, I'm just going to fill it out. It was only like 2 things that I could have maybe saved like $4 on or $5 on. And so I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'll just ship it out as is. But like for the future, she gave me an extra one to take home. So in the future, like I'm going to kind of go and see what I could potentially fit in there. So next time I would be able to ship it out that way. But it was just good information to know. And I got everything mailed out, and most of the times like it was cheaper to send it out the way I'd already had it in my own packaging. So, and it was super fast. A lot of people got 1 day shipping on their stuff or 2 day shipping if it was here in California.
Yeah.
So it was super sick. Everyone like the next day was like showing me, oh, dude, I already got it. I was like, hell yeah. And people were stoked with the quality of the stuff, and I was super impressed with it too.
I am too, to be honest. Like, I didn't think it was going to be this good.
It was really good.
You know what's funny too is that like it looked huge. Like when I pulled it out my large, I was like, dude, this thing's massive.
Mm-hmm.
But this doesn't, it's not like baggy. It doesn't like have this crazy stretch. It's like, it's like kind of tight.
I think it's like tapered.
Yeah, it fits really well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like really comfortable in it.
Yeah, I love my hoodie. The time I rock my hoodie, it feels really good. It doesn't feel baggy. I feel like it still look good in it, and it's hella comfy. And so I was super stoked with all that. And all the friends that I've sent it out to, they all told me the same thing. We like it, think it's dope. They're rocking it. Send me pictures of them wearing it to the gym or to whatever. And
hell yeah. If you guys want to wear the stuff, if you guys bought stuff and you want to wear it, make sure your profiles aren't on private.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we get tagged in it, like we can't repost it because you guys are on private.
Yeah, so put your stuff on public and then
I guess what we could do is just screenshot it and just like
that's what I did with one of my friends, George. Shout out George.
Shout out to George.
He got a green olive tea, and he like tagged me and the Coast Boys in it, and then I was just like, well, I can take a screenshot, or I can repost it on my profile because he had tagged me in it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you guys don't mind us screenshotting your stuff, then we'll just do that way.
Yeah. But it's just cool seeing everybody wear the stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been dope.
Absolutely. Good feedback. And I think it's been a great experience. What do you think would be like something we could do differently next time?
So, and for the one thing, like immediately thing that I can change is just the shipping, like fixing that, like in order to just get the fastest way. And the thing with the flat rate too, it's like it usually gets there in 2 days. It's like super fast shipping too.
So you'd want to do flat rate, or you want to do?
Well, I would stay with what I'm doing, but for like the bigger orders, I would definitely use what they did. That way, it'd get there in 2 days, and we'd end up like just it'd be more cost effective for us to do it that way. That's the only thing that I would immediately change. But I think the lettering on the cruise I could do a little bit bigger.
Well, we're gonna have different designs next time.
Yeah,
but I think we should be more hands-on with the making of the product. Like I want to be there next time and kind of make sure everything. Like I want to have an eye on it because it's like we don't have to go into specifics, but there are some things that it's like, okay, we should have done this differently in the design or like in the actual printing process. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we can be there and see like one be made, or it's like, oh, actually, can we change this or make this bigger, make that smaller, like make
adjustments before the whole
so it's like we absolutely know what we're getting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But we're still this is not to say that we're not happy with it.
I know.
We're super stoked with what we got, and we're definitely going to work in the future and get some other stuff out. But
yeah, just to be like subtle improvements, For sure. Overall, I think it was a great experience. Now I think we just need to start working on the next pack.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to, I don't think it's going to come to like late summer, midsummer. I don't know.
Yeah, we got to work something. But yeah, man, it's been dope. It's been fun. And I was glad to do it. Next time we can do it together. And like you said, maybe have an eye on the stuff that we want to make.
I hella felt bad. I was like, damn, I literally just went on vacation and left all the way together.
Another thing I'd want to do, honestly, is like when I ship everything out for people who are like don't live here locally, like I want to make sure that everything is like out the same day. Just so, because right now, like I'll get some of the stuff, but obviously some people in town still haven't picked up their order yet or whatever. I haven't reached them because they've been busy and whatnot. Like if I'd be able to just like make sure everybody gets their stuff on the same day, or it's out of my door on the same day, I think that'd be sick. Just so I don't have to worry about getting stuff to people. Yeah, that was true. That was kind of my thing too, that I didn't have the addresses of the shipping. So that was I lagged on that. Yeah, but next time, okay? Next time for sure. Is there anything we want to address? I think we got everything, yeah. It was just a nice little update on the Mexico trip and then the merch, and yeah, I think we pretty much hit everything. You want to sign us off? Yeah, sure. Are those new shoes? These are new shoes. Okay, sign off. They are nice shoes. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you next week.